Welcome to This Daring Adventure podcast, where we work on bridging the gap between where we are and where we want to be in order to live a bigger and bolder life. In this podcast, we will provide inspiration, tips, and skills you need to make your life the adventure you want it to be. Here's your host, mindset mentor, and life coach, Trista Gurton.
Hey everybody, welcome back to This Daring Adventure and Happy New Year. Today is January 1st and I thought I'd take this opportunity to get back to work and do a quick episode for you. I took the last few weeks off. I lost my dog at the beginning of December, and then with Christmas and everything, I thought, well, I'm just going to take a break and start fresh in the new year. So here we are. And to be honest, I wasn't sure I was going to do an episode today, but I received a text message this morning and it basically read something like, I hope this year brings you everything you want. But the gist of it was, I hope that this year brings you good things and success and happiness and health and whatever it was. And I had a thought which really landed for me this morning. And I remember just reading that message, and I've been thinking about it all day, that this year isn't going to bring me anything. And it's not because I'm negative, and it's not because I don't believe in possibility, but because I think it's a way of looking at how life actually works. The years don't bring us anything. And even though there may be circumstances, the circumstances don't deliver the outcomes. And time doesn't magically hand us the life that we want. We create it. And that realization is not supposed to be harsh and it's not heavy. I find it actually very exciting and incredibly freeing. And I want to take today and every day going forward to lean into that possibility that things are possible and what I want is possible. And I'm going to go out there and create it. And this is so important to me because I think I kind of forgot a little bit last year that was the case. And so what I wanted to talk about today are not resolutions, not pressure, not new year, new you, but something much more powerful. And that is agency, ownership, and most especially intention. Now, we love the idea that January 1st is some kind of reset button and that the year ahead is this clean slate that will somehow behave differently than the year before. And we can start fresh. And that's helpful in a way, right? It is a helpful way to think about it in some respects. But in reality, January 1st is just another day. And I don't say that to deflate you, but I say that to empower you. Because if the year had the power, then you'd be at its mercy. You'd be waiting and hoping and crossing your fingers that this year turns out better than the last one. And when you really think about it, you can see how inane that is. And that's not how change happens. Change happens because you decide. When we say, I hope this year brings me, what we're really saying without realizing is, I'm waiting for something outside of me to change my life, to create what I want, to do the things that I am not doing for myself. And hope sounds positive, but I think it just puts us in this really passive role. And I don't want to be passive in my life, and I don't want you to be passive in your own life. You're not here to wait and see. You're here to choose, to direct, to create. You need to be intentional. You need to be deliberate. Not by controlling everything, but by owning what you can control. You don't control other people or the economy or the past or the traffic or the weather or your mother or any random events. But you do control what you decide to think, how you relate to what happens, how you show up, what you focus on constantly, what you think about, how you feel, what actions you take or avoid, and what you make things mean. And that is way more than enough. That is everything. That's not settling. That's an entire lever of change. Now, I really want to be clear about something. Creating your life doesn't mean forcing. It doesn't mean hustling harder. It doesn't mean dominating the year or proving anything. I'm going into this year with a calm centeredness, a strength, a power. And it's not about white knuckling your way into a better life because creation has to start intentionally. It starts with a decision like this. I'm no longer outsourcing my power to circumstances. That's it. Your intention is not a goal. And people often confuse intention with outcome. And intention isn't what you accomplish, it's how you choose to show up while creating it. And an intention sounds like, I intend to be someone who follows through. I intend to trust myself. I intend to stop abandoning myself when things get comfortable. I intend to be the woman who handles her emotions instead of running from them. I intend to be someone who has the best year, who creates that best year. And these intentions don't depend on the year behaving well. They depend on me. The year doesn't decide. You do. If you don't consciously decide who you're going to be this year and start building that identity and living from that, your past will decide for you. Your habits will decide. Your default thoughts will decide. Your nervous system will decide. And none of that is a problem unless you're ready for something different. You want change. You want more. And if you're listening to this, you probably are. So I want to talk about that phrase for a moment. Make it the best year yet. I don't say that to sound heavy or to make it like a performance metric. So let me redefine it. The best year yet does not mean no hard days, no disappointment, no fear, no mistakes. The best year yet means this is the year I stop arguing with reality and start working with myself. This is the year I start showing up from the identity I want to become, creating intentionally and deliberately what I want. It's the year you learn how to feel your feelings without making them mean you're failing. It's the year you stop waiting to be motivated and start honoring your commitments and building that relationship with yourself. It's the year you trust yourself more than you trust your doubt. And listen, you don't need to feel ready. You don't need to feel confidence first. You don't need certainty. You don't need clarity on every step. You need willingness. You need willingness to show up imperfectly, to feel that discomfort, because there's going to be a lot of discomfort, and the willingness to stop buffering and start choosing. The life you want is not going to be built in one great leap. And I see this a lot with my clients because they come and they want to make some huge decision that's going to change everything for them. And I don't think that's necessarily the way it works a lot of the time. There might be those big decisions, of course. But all of the answers aren't going to come to you immediately. And it's going to take small decisions every day. And it's going to be a decision that you make about who you want to become and how you want to feel and how you're going to show up. And you go after one small thing and one small thing and one small thing, and you figure this out as you go along. And it's built in those quiet moments where you choose differently than you used to. So instead of asking, what will this year bring me? Try asking, who am I willing to become this year? Because outcomes follow identity, always. And when you shift who you're being, how you think, how you respond, how you lead yourself, how you show up, your results have to change. Not because of luck, but because cause and effect is real. You are the constant. This might be a different year, different circumstances, and different goals, but it's the same you. And that's good news because if you're the constant, then you don't have to wait. You can start today, right now, in this moment. And yes, it ties in neatly with the new year. So let's ride that momentum and that excitement and that possibility, but make a grounded decision that you are responsible for your experience of your life and are capable of creating whatever it is you want. Repeat after me. I am responsible for my experience of my life, and I am capable of creating what I want. So remember, this year isn't bringing you anything. You are creating it for yourself. Your thoughts, your courage, your compassion, your willingness to stay present, feel your emotions, and experience discomfort. And that is more than enough. If you want this to be the year you stop drifting, stop spinning, stop treading water, and start deliberately creating, then I'm right there with you. This is the work that I love to do. So Happy New Year. Let's build on it on purpose. Thanks for joining me, everybody. If you want to talk about this more in depth, you want a jumpstart to creating whatever it is you want some help and some guidance in starting, this is my jam. This is what I love to do. You can book your free coaching session in the show notes. I would love to talk to you. I'd love to help you with this. I will tell you about how we can work together further, but it is a no strings attached 1 hour session with me. And I promise it will help. All right. I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.